Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be taking a first look at S-Class Pippy, who is going to be the next promo character coming to RTS. Visually, well, she is the character that we've seen in the roadmaps. You might have seen her in some of the story roadmaps. She had the antlers on her nose and it was kind of questionable, but now obviously you're seeing her as a promo character. She is extremely Christmassy, Maybe it was meant to be a Christmas release character, but I'm not sure. It's a little bit late. We're about a month later, but she's got the Christmas lights on her weapon. She's still got the reindeer antlers on, and it looks like she's got like bells on her antlers as well. Maybe some like decorations on her shoulders. I'm not sure what's going on here. Very Christmas themed for sure. If we see her avatar on the left-hand side, it is the visuals that we saw from the story roadmaps. You know what she looked like. As an S-Class character with full vet ring, she has got 3,227 attack, 4,780 defense, and 4,115 HP. She is a strong character. She is considered a tank, and with that stat balance it is, I guess you could say she is quite tanky. She's got the same sort of defense as Marge, Jesus, Javier, these sort of characters, but her HP is a little bit low, but we'll see what the rest of her kit brings to the table. Checking out her adrenaline rush, it is called Devilish Taunt. It's a 66 AP cost rush, so reasonably fast. Taunt up to 5 enemies for 3 turns. Those enemies get minus 75% attack, daze, and impair for 3 turns. Now, this is obviously an insane level rush. This is very reminiscent of the rush of Lao Po in terms of heavy full shutdown, but the taunt on top. I think Lao Po's does daze, impair, and one other thing. I'm not sure what the third thing is, but it shuts down everything. So even if you resist the taunt, you can't rush because the impair. If you resist the impair and the taunt, even if you can rush, you're getting minus 75% attack. There's so many things going on here that no matter what happens, if you come out of it where you can actually take your turn still, you're going to be just so messed up in what you can do. Your damage is going to be heavily reduced. You're not going to be able to do your actives to cleanse potentially. You know, this is all over the place. Like I say, it is an extremely fast rush as well. So you're going to have to shut down this character extremely quickly. Otherwise, you're going to be in problem. Then that was the downside of Lao Po. Because she was quite slow, you could control her quite easily. It's going to be a very different case here for Pippy. So we'll just attack Pippy in a very basic team. I'm going to get off some attacks, and we're going to do as much damage as possible. And as you can see, on the first turn, she's going to get a rush off because I gave her too much AP. And this is definitely potential. And I'm taunting for 3 turns. This is a big problem. And she's going to get off again. You can see a downside to this, of course. I will eventually break through because she's got no heals. But when I do take her out with those basic attacks on the taunt, my entire team shut down. As you can see down the bottom, every single one of my characters impaired, and every single one of my characters are dazed. If they had a healer on that team, obviously it would bring her back up. She is a strong character, so she can go on a team with Marge and other fast characters. So fast healing weapons can just top her up every turn. But you saw the amount of control potential she has. I haven't got any resists on any of these characters. But even if I did, I'd only be able to resist the maximum of 2 of the 4 effects that she's dealing out. And this is the problem. I took Rick in here just to show you how quickly she can be rushed. She'd only need to gain 24 AP on turn 1. So if basically you had someone who had 8% weapons coming in, then there's a good potential for her to rush quickly. And obviously, like you saw, focusing her too early can be extremely dangerous because especially if she's with a command, she can be rushed really quickly. So that rush is obviously devastating. A lot of control there. If it goes off, you're kind of in trouble. Every single taunted attack is a guaranteed 5 AP gain. If you taunt all 5, that's 25 AP. For 3 turns, she's always going to get her rush off. She has to be controlled in some way, whether it be stun on attack or impair on attack somehow. That's the only way you could stop it. And she could obviously potentially resist there. So lots of issues if she does get this rush off. Going across to her active skill, it is crit up, AP up, and defense up. Initial cooldown of turn 2, cooldown of 6, which is kind of strange. Number of uses 2. This character gets 100% crit up for 6 turns and 50% AP up. All teammates get 50% defense for 6 turns. Now, obviously various parts of this. The 100 crit up for 6 turns is obviously an extremely long time. Crit will work with certain parts of the game, and she has got parts of her kit where it will work with her. We'll look into that in a second. 50% AP up means that she will gain 33 AP because her rush is 66. 50% of that obviously is 33. The last bit is obviously the best part in my opinion, and it's mainly because she's a strong character. All teammates get 50% defense for 6 turns. This is something that strong characters don't really have the option of getting on their weapons and stuff. Like you see, alert characters can get defense bonuses based on the team player. You have fast characters getting heal bonuses, and you have tough characters getting bonus HP bonuses. There's no defensive bonus for strong characters, and that's where you're coming in here with Pippy. This is turn 2, and this is when the turn 2 alert buffs would come in. This is the same power maximum that you can get with alert buffs, 50% defense. So it's almost like she's giving alert buffs to her entire team, as if there's 5 alert characters on the team, but there could be 0. And 50% defense is obviously a big, big boost. So we're going to attack this team, and it's going to be with the same attack team. But this time we have got a leader in here, so obviously we'd have more characters to think about in this situation. And what we're going to do is we're just going to clear the Guardian Shields because, well, the Guardian Shields are going to be annoying. We're not going to focus her, just so you can sort of see the AP that she can get. When she does a basic attack, she will gain 40 AP normally. She hasn't got an upgraded weapon right now. But even without an upgraded weapon, because she's going to do a turn 2 active, which we are going to see in just a second, she will probably gain enough to be commanded. There we go. So she can be commanded turn 2 just because of the AP gain there. And she, like I said before, she did not have any gain from her weapon. She's not got any AP gain on her weapon, like huge or anything. And where I said that the issue she had was going to be healing, she's full HP. And that's just with one healer in the team. Obviously, she has to lock the entire team to do that. And at this point, I don't think it's ever going to stop. So I'm going to have to flee because I've got no taunt resist. I'm never going to be able to take her out. I'm not going to be able to stop her from rushing. I haven't got any stun on attacks in this team. You would normally, but this is just to show you if you do come up against this character with the wrong weapons, the wrong kit, everything, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble indeed. And the good thing is that if she does break between her turns to do her active, she's still going to gain AP to do that. She can only do this 2 times. It has got a 6-turn cooldown, so it's going to be a while until she does it a second time anyway. But that means that there's going to be obviously a massive defense bonus for everyone, including herself, which is what alert buffs does not provide. And I actually don't mind this active at all. Now, when it comes to the crit bonus, this is going to play into her specialist skill. And her specialist skill is disarming. This is honestly a big surprise. She is a defense team character. The first thing I noticed, honestly, is that she's a strong character and we already have a strong disarm. So straight away I was just like, why are we getting a second strong disarm? I can't really understand why she is a disarm character and not something else. Like, she would have been better. Like, imagine she was indomitable. And every time she's getting attacked, she's going to obviously get defense bonuses because of that taunt. She could have been anything else, really. Anything reasonably good defensively. She could have had evasion, like Violet in the 6-star era, or Kapoor's dexterity, which includes evasion. I just don't know why this one was on here. It doesn't stop her from being disarmed when someone attacks her, but I guess potentially she could be used on an attack team in some of these like niche non-percentage damage teams, and a disarm in those teams would be useful. But you'd use Alpha in those teams anyway if you really needed to, and I find Alpha on attack extremely powerful, obviously, because she can do percentage damage and take out the traders that really, you know, get around trauma, get around bleed, and get around infection. I'm not sure what Pippy's going to add to that because she doesn't add normalize so far in her kit. So the disarm is questionable. If you have any ideas of why she could be a disarming character and how that could come into some use, because I really can't think of it, except for just obviously disarming like stun on attack on attacking characters or double attack and stuff like this. But if her rush goes off at 75% attack down, It's just, I'm not sure. Let me know if you've got any thoughts on the specialist skill disarming. It obviously means that when she does hit a critical attack where that crit buff does come in from her active skill, she will disarm someone, and she's much more likely to disarm someone if she's got that crit buff. Because her active has got such a heavy cooldown, she will be doing quite a lot of basic attacks, so it will potentially go off quite a lot after turn 2. But again, like I've already said, not really sure why she's got it in the first place. But she has also got an attached weapon, as you see, and it is Pippy's hockey stick. You see her holding the hockey stick and the hockey glove as well. It has got 30% defense base, which is obviously great. A medium bonus to AP when taking damage. She could potentially be a character that you could do a huge AP bonus when taking damage, because she doesn't need AP gain. As you saw, she gets 50%, which is 33. She doesn't need to get the first turn 42, as long as she's got at least one 8% weapon. The second she gets taunted attacks against her, she's getting the extra 5 boost. This is one of the very few characters where I think on defense AP would work absolutely fine, but you could just go for AP on attack if you so wished. The third slot, when being attacked, a 50% chance to grant this character and up to 2 teammates 30 AP. Well, in that team you saw me taking before, we did have Alpha, so that was getting disarmed. But obviously, if you do not have Alpha, you know what that's going to mean. That's going to be 30 AP popping to Pippy, but mainly her teammates constantly because of those taunted attacks. Okay, so we're going to be attacking the same team this time without a disarm, and we're going to be obviously attacking the character that's going to cause us the most issues, which is generally going to be this dude here. I'm going to try and attack him with the most damage dealing characters in my team to try and get him out, but as you can see, well, ultra defensive. He's going to get his active off, and we're going to see. I'm not sure if Tanya's is a turn 2 active or not. We're going to still try and focus him, and we should see her get commanded, and this is where the basic attacks are going to come in. And AP is just, look, AP went to Tanya, AP went to Mr. Lou. Everyone's got rushes, and that was after doing a turn 2 active. More bleed's going to come in. And then what should happen now is, look, no one's got any AP. Mr. Lou got another 30, another 30. Yeah, this is a problem. So the weapon obviously needs to be disarmed. It goes without saying, that needs to be disarmed. You can't even focus her turn 1 just in case, because she gets 30 AP, which is basically half of her AP gain required. If there's one 8% weapon, the first basic attack that she'll do on turn 1 will be commanded. So she'll have a first turn rush, which is obviously not great. We saw what the rush was like. It's pretty much a full lock-in. You've got to be very, very careful with this character and getting her too much AP too quickly. Shutting her down as quickly as possible is going to be an extremely important fact. Right now, obviously, a lot of people do use Jesus on attack, so you can stop the AP gain. Obviously, if people are impaired, this weapon would not work when it comes to the AP gain. So you could impair everybody, then start attacking her, and no one's going to gain AP, because you can't gain AP when you're impaired. Not rush, you can actually not gain any AP too. But the weapon has extremely high potential once she gets that rush off, because things like the impair wear off themselves. So if Pippy herself has impair resist, and then she gets you into a loop on her rush, this weapon would definitely start working. So Pippy is an extremely powerful character when it comes to helping out where I think there was kind of issues with strong characters on defense teams. She's going to be a welcome sight to some people when it comes to boosting their heavy defense teams, because they're going to get defense boosts now where they didn't have any defense boosts. Javi's teams needed heals, got some Erica love there, and Javi's teams also needed defense boosts, and this is where Pippy comes into action. So that those teams could be boosted, but if you don't want to use her with a Javi team, she's obviously going to work everywhere else. She's going to work with Marge, as you saw before. The only questionable bit still for me is the disarm, but in a way I'm kind of thankful that it's not too extreme a specialist skill, because the rest of her kit is extremely powerful. She's just a much stronger version of Lao Po, and if you've ever got caught by Lao Po getting her rush off, you know that it just slows things down massively. This won't just slow things down potentially, it could mean you just cannot actually finish the fight, and the flee button at that point would pretty much be the only option. But do tell me what you think of S-Class Pippy, who is a story roadmap character coming into the game as a promo character. This is good news if you have seen some of the most recent story roadmap characters and just thought, oh, they're going to be coming into the game potentially. Well, here's one of them. We did see a lot of those characters from the Bear's Journey come into the game, so it looks like some of the other story map characters are coming in, which is kind of cool. If you have any thoughts on Disarm, do let me know in the comments down below, because I am still kind of not sure. But that is the end of my video. I want to thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.